Are you ready?
Are you
for
ready?
the Ron Bass Show?
I'm ready.
Your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, dry humor. Mr. Brent Atterbury.
Top of the afternoon to you.
Top of the afternoon, sir. And hello to all of our subscribers and friends and family members all around the world. Appreciate you guys tuning in, listening in. Hopefully we got something to share that's meaningful, that maybe drives a point home.
Yeah.
Something that you can take and chew on. Speaking of chew on, Brent got me some cookies for Christmas, thank you. And I've been chewing on those for a couple of days.
Yum.
I'm not sure how healthy that is, but well.
It's healthy for the soul.
Okay. Sometimes you just got to cheat a little bit on your nutrition, you know. Speaking of weight, I've made a note here about weight gain, and I've got a couple students that are struggling with that. And one student that I mentioned earlier, or a couple podcasts ago, that he's lost like 60 pounds. He was like 350. He's down to like 290, something along those lines anyway. And then another student that had lost a lot of weight, gained it all back. We were talking last night, and he was like, man, I got to get back on the treadmill. I got to get back to the gym. I said, you know, I think a lot of it has to do with genetics, because this guy is like, he's just built like a tree, and he's so thick that for him, I think it's always going to be a struggle. And I told him that last night. I said, I think you're going to have to go through a lot of hoops the rest of your life to really maintain a low weight or a reasonable weight. And so I wanted to talk about that just briefly. I think some people are, you just dealt a bad hand maybe when you're born in some ways. Like you're just predisposed to be heavy. And that doesn't mean you can't get the weight down. It just means you've got extra work to do compared to maybe an average person, right? And that's okay. What other reasons why would people wind up being heavy? Bad habits, like drinking too much, eating too much, right? Depression, because I think when people are depressed, they tend to go to things that make them feel better, and one thing that makes you feel better is certain foods. I don't know if it's the sugar, if it's the carbohydrates. I'm not real sure exactly how that works, but certain foods give you a feel good, and so that helps to counter being depressed, right? Maybe in some cases it's just laziness, right? You're just lazy. You just eat a lot and drink a lot, and you don't want to go to the gym, but that's not going to cut the mustard. You know, if you really want to get that weight down and be healthy and fit, you've got to pay the price. And one of the prices is you got to go to the gym. You know, I go to the gym every single day. I would be a hypocrite if I got on this podcast every week and said, you got to go to the gym, and I may not do it. That's not going to work. And there's people out there that probably do motivational podcasts or speaking events, and they're hypocrites, and I don't like that. If I tell you something, it's because I'm doing it and I know it works. So at least for me, you've got a credible source. Anyway, back to what I was saying about weight gain. I think it's a lot of different reasons, but in the end, the only way to really, really resolve it is to watch what you eat and work out. It's not like rocket science, guys. It's not. I'm not saying you can't get certain get around certain people that maybe that's all that they do is teach, is weight loss, and work and be around those kinds of people, and that's fine. If you want to pay for programs, that's cool. But I think really in the end, it's just common sense, mostly. That's my opinion anyway. Of course, opinions are like noses. Everybody's got one.
There's what is that people are taking right now?
Oh, yeah, Ozempic.
Ozempic?
Yeah, and there's a couple other prescriptions that are similar.
I guess it just cuts down the need or the desire to want to eat or be hungry. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of people that are having success with that.
Yes, and I've met a few of those people, but they also say there's a lot of side effects.
Okay.
So back in the old days, it was like stomach surgery. That was like the big thing,
right.
30, 40 years ago. Open you up, make the stomach smaller. I had a good friend of mine do that. He lost a lot of weight, but they say that the stomach can stretch again. So now you've gone through all that, and you're still going to gain weight again. I think it all really comes down to discipline. Mm-hmm. Guys, you just have to be disciplined, whether it's to weight loss, whether it's goal setting, whether it's to be successful in your endeavor. You have to be disciplined. And from my perspective, every day I go to the gym, it's like, man, I'm on my way to the gym and my phone's ringing and I've got certain challenges I have to, deal with from my company. And I'm thinking, man, and then I get to the gym and I'm on the Stairmaster and the phone's ringing and I'm stopping and I'm answering and I'm thinking, look, it's just what you have to do. You have to be inconvenienced a lot to get to where you want to get to in life. It's just part of it, guys. I didn't write the rules, but I understand them, and I can talk about them because I experience this sort of thing every single day. Okay, story time. So there was this lady walking at 3 o'clock in the morning on a kind of like a road that not too many people travel on. And this kept happening over and over and over again, and people were noticing this, and they called the police. And so one day the police met up with this woman. And the bottom line is, this woman was a single mother, several children. She would walk 6 miles every morning to work and walk home 6 miles every day. And so it was a legitimate deal. And the police were like, wow, that's really impressive that somebody would be that dedicated to her cause. And so they got together with the community and they bought her a vehicle. We had a similar story like this on another, I think it was in a school scenario, custodian and the students. But think about that, guys. Think about how, we sit around and we talk about all these negative things going on in the world, but man, look at the positive things. Think how positive that is. And they had a video of her getting the vehicle, and they paid her insurance up for a whole year. And I just love stories like that.
Great story.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's still a lot of really good in the world. For all the negative that goes on out there, hey, a lot of positive.
Look at her discipline and mindset of setting that goal. I'm going to walk every day to work and walk home.
6 miles. That takes a minute.
Yeah, it does.
That's probably taking her 2 to 3 hours each way.
Wow.
Yeah. And regardless of the weather.
Wow.
Never missed a day of work.
Yeah.
It was a convenience store that she worked at, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
It is.
Not as cool as you. Certainly not as cool as me.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Maybe I'm not kidding. I'm joking. Dry humor. My dry humor is not that good, but I still love dry humor. Okay, here's some cool news on the medical front. They think now they've got a way to maybe prevent Alzheimer's. So they're coming up with some medications where you can take this way in advance of getting it. They have a way now they think they can tell if you're going to get it or not. That's another big scientific breakthrough happening.
Wow.
Yeah. And then now they've got a way that they think they're going to be able to give you medication to make it to where it never happens. So that's pretty cool stuff, because you think about all the people dying of Alzheimer's, struggling with Alzheimer's, let alone the family members that are having to deal with the hell that goes with it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm noticing more and more now about our percentage of people that are listening are older. We're up to like 30 or 40% of people over 50 now that are watching our podcast. So I'm happy about that, but I'm also happy that we have a lot of young people listening too, to hear what we have to say as well. So this is what we're doing is good for everybody, young and old. It's my opinion anyway. Okay, back in the day we had a guy named Jack LaLanne who had a television show. I've talked about this before. He did a fitness TV show back in the 50s and 60s, and he was on the air for 20 or 30 years. And this guy was like a real fitness guru. In fact, I think he was one of the first people in the United States to ever open up a fitness gym back in the 50s or 60s or 70s. Yeah. And I was watching one of his old videos, and he said, there's a 3-letter word that can change your life. Can you guess what it is? And this is how he would say it. Can you guess what it is? He was a real sweet guy. And no, you can't guess? You can't guess? And then he had like a chalkboard, and he'd go over there and he put TRY, try. All you have to do is just try. And this is how sweet the guy was. He would say, just get off your butt and go to a chair and do some dips or do some push-ups. You don't have or walk. You don't have to do anything too crazy. And he was like, he worked out until he was, I think, 96. The folklore is that he died lifting weights. He had weights in his hand. He worked out every day until he died, literally. I think 2 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a great swimmer. He was a runner. He was a fitness, weightlifting guy. He did all kinds of cool stuff. But I love stories like that because you don't have to do anything remarkable to stay healthy. Just do some basic things every single day, guys. I know Brent walks every day as an example.
Yep.
And I'm in the gym every day doing Stairmaster and pull-ups and weightlifting. Nothing crazy. Yesterday somebody said to me, hey man, don't you ever do like, what is the exercise where you pull up the weights from, like, doggone it, what's the name of it?
Pull up the weight?
No. Or squats.
Oh.
You never do squats. I said, well, I do the Stairmaster, which is really good for the thighs and the calves.
Yeah.
But I said, with my arthritis in my knees, it's difficult to go up and down. Mm-hmm. I can climb easily on the Stairmaster. For some reason, it doesn't hurt me. But you start stepping down, that's when it hurts. I'm going back in at the end of the month to get injections. So that hopefully will give me some more assistance. And from my perspective, it's like, if I can manage the knee pain between exercise and taking Advil and getting injections, I'm going to do that as long as I can until I have to have knee replacements. Because like I've said before, from what I understand, getting artificial knees is just not quite the same thing as having your own knees. So
that'll be a podcast and a half. When
oh
you
my
have that
gosh,
done.
when that happens. And I know I'm going to have to not be able to work out for a while, which is going to probably kill me, but
Yes.
what can I do, man? I'm just going to have to pay the price, I guess, huh? Okay. Another story. If I can read my writing. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. So this lady was a DJ and worked at a radio station. You'll like this because you're in the marketing world and you do TV and radio advertising. I don't know how many years ago. It goes back quite a ways, but she somehow got the knack to be able to, or desire to own a station, and put together the financing somehow and bought a radio station. But she was like struggling. She couldn't afford a place to live. She had children. She was a single mother, and she would just sleep literally on a cot in the radio station. And this went on for a long time, and she struggled, but finally got to where the station, I guess, was making some money and was able to secure financing to buy another station. And then she had this desire to own all these radio stations. Before it was all over with, man, she owned 50 radio stations. Took the company to the stock market and became very obviously very financially successful. But the moral of the story is, hey, it doesn't matter what you have to do to get there. You pay your dues and you don't ever give up. Think about that, man. A single woman starting with nothing and built that kind of a company. That's a wonderful story. I don't know her name. No, I do know her name. It's Kathy Hughes. I'd never heard about this person before, but the point is, if you got a goal, doesn't matter how uncomfortable you got to be, you just pay your dues and you don't give up. And sooner or later, either you're going to get there or you're going to get closer. It's a cool story, huh?
Yeah.
Wound up with 50 radio stations. Man,
That's amazing.
it is amazing, right? Okay, well,
I was watching television the other night, and they were interviewing someone that, actually it was Beckham. It was on the Tonight Show.
okay.
And she said she worked really hard to launch a cosmetics line.
Wow.
And has been doing it for 20 years. She said it was brutal and it was hard and it was
Brutal.
difficult.
Brutal.
And she said it was competitive and it was hard to break into the market, and she finally did it. And she said someone is ordering her eyeliner every 20 seconds
Wow.
now. And so she said it's not luck and it's not,
Yeah.
she said it's hard work and it's perseverance and it's putting the time and energy and effort into it. And she goes, and the best advice I've got to give anyone is never give up. And every time I hear somebody say that, I think of you.
Oh, wow. It's cool,
So-
man. That's a cool story.
Yeah. Well, I said it to talk about the never give up
Yeah.
part, but this was another a story that talks about somebody setting a goal and just hanging in there and doing it till it happens.
Yep, I think about it a lot. I say to myself, all these great success stories, they all have small beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
And we see these people online and on on our computers and how successful they are, and we think, wow, but nobody really knows the backstory. It's like all of them struggled and struggled and struggled and struggled. So it's the same thing for you guys. You can have small goals or big goals. You can have both. I have many goals. I have small goals, but I have big goals. And on a daily basis, I work both sides of that fence all day long. It's kind of crazy, but the brain's powerful. You can do a lot of stuff if you believe enough in yourself. That's another thing, guys. You have to believe in yourself. That's the number one gig. A friend of mine came to my office last night, and he was struggling, and I said, "What's going on?" And he's having female problems, and I said, "Look, man, I get it. I've been there, done that, but in the end, you have to focus on you. Build yourself up. Work on you. Work on your self-image. Work on your self-confidence. Be proud of who you are accomplishing and your goals. And everything else will fall into place sooner or later anyway. You have to focus on yourself first, guys. It may sound selfish, but that's just reality. A couple of quick things, and we'll let Brent give us some breaking news. On the medical front, Parkinson's, it's a whole nother gig. Alzheimer's is bad enough. Parkinson's is bad news too. They've come up with a new treatment for the brain. It's a laser treatment, and they think they can erase these things that connect to the brain that makes you have Parkinson's, right, and tremors. And they're working on that really hard right now, and they've got a lot of trials going on. So let's hope that turns out to be something super positive.
Yeah.
And then one last thing about the brain, implants for drug addiction. They've been able to, I think I might even talked about it, they've been able to go into the brain now, whatever part of the brain it is that understands addiction or deals with addiction, and with an implant. And they think that maybe this is going to be the finale in the end, where you can work with people that nothing else is working, and this implant takes away all the hankering for the drugs, whatever the drug is, takes away all the desire to have it, and they've got some success stories already now with that. So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
I'm not saying that's the better way maybe to deal with addiction, but hey, it's like in the end, I say to myself, whatever you can do to manage struggle, you use it. So it may be multiple different things that you have to do, just like with my knees, the Advil, the exercise, the injections, maybe eventually having to replace them. But hey, whatever it takes to overcome the struggle is what you need to do. You can never throw in the towel and give up. You have to find a way to manage dealing with the uncomfortableness and the adversities. Okay. What say you, sir?
Well, do you make your bed
Yes.
every day?
Yes.
Okay. Do you wait a little bit before you make your bed, or do you do it right away?
I do it right away.
Okay. Well, studies now show that making your bed every morning could actually have some health drawbacks.
Drawbacks?
Drawbacks.
What?
And they said the reason is when you sleep at night, there's some humidity, there's some sweat, and going on. And if you make your bed right away, it encourages the activity of dust mites.
Oh my gosh.
And it causes them to flourish. They said if you hesitate and wait just a little bit for it to dry out a little bit and then make your bed a little bit later, it does not accelerate the dust mites.
That may be so, but I'd have to think about that a minute.
They said that these dust mites live in warm, humid environments such as bedding, mattresses, and wintertime is the worst for dust mite production or expansion. But they said that, this was done at Kingston University in London.
Oh my goodness.
So
I'm not sure what to think about that.
that
if
waiting-
I hesitate, I may not do it. So
Waiting
for me,
to make the bed can significantly reduce the number of dust mites in and under your covers all seasons.
okay.
That's what it says. That's what it says. And then, on another note,
On another note,
it's International Animal Rights Day.
okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yes. And you know what? It's also Apple Pie Day.
Oh, I like
If you
that.
take apple pie, warm it up with either vanilla or cinnamon ice cream, oh my goodness, it's heaven. Heaven, heaven, heaven.
Well, we like ice cream and we like apple pie.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Homemade
know,
crust.
what I miss is being able to go to a drive-through and get that sort of thing. They don't offer it anymore like they used to back in the old days.
Well, and I know this
Steak and
isn't-
Shake used to offer that.
This isn't everywhere in the world, but in our town here, we have a place called Andy's Frozen Custard. They actually have an apple pie sundae.
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
That's
man.
homemade apple pie. Homemade apple
I didn't
pie.
know that.
And it's the crust is very flaky, and they warm it up and they throw a chunk of it in a bowl and they put their custard on top.
Ooh, I'll have to check
They put
that
some
out.
caramel drizzle and then I add pecans. Oh my goodness!
Okay,
it is
you got me
unbelievable.
going on this
Now
now.
they only run it for about 5 weeks, and it starts like
Come on, man.
mid-November and it goes through
That's
like
not even fair.
the couple weeks in December. But I'm
You
telling
really
you,
rained on my parade just now.
I go. I've been going there about once a week now.
Okay. Well, I'm the kind of guy that I just want to pull in at any time, and then I
Yeah.
can't get it. So I'm going to be even more. I'm going to be disappointed.
You're gonna have to, if you want apple pie all the time, you're gonna have to drive to either Smith's in Bolivar, which has amazing apple pie,
That's not
or
gonna work.
or Village Inn has pretty good apple pie.
But
some of
I'm talking about driving through on my way home after
Oh
after
no,
work.
yeah, you can't do that.
Well, then I'm really
Silly you.
disappointed.
Silly you.
Maybe we should build a company that does that, like create a restaurant or a
Drive-through
drive through where you can get pie and ice cream
Yeah,
anytime.
food truck.
Yeah, food truck. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh my, the stuff we come
Wow.
up with, stuff you come up with.
So
Is that all you got?
that's all I got today.
Oh man, well we better close things out. We've bored everybody enough, probably, don't you think?
Yes.
You know, I learned many years ago. I learned professional salesmanship, and one of the things they taught us was that technique, where at the very end you say, don't you agree? You always try to get the client to agree with whatever you're saying, and I've never forgot that. Learned all kinds of different. But it's all psychology, of course, right?
Yes.
Professional salesmanship,
Body
But
language.
Yeah. But I don't really like to use those sorts of techniques to sell. I'd rather just sell based on a good product, a good service, honesty,
Yes.
fairness.
Transparency.
Yeah, I don't like the professional salespeople that come in and they just really hit it hard.
One call close.
Yeah, but that's still out there. I
It
still
is.
have people
Oh, yeah.
calling me that
Oh,
use
yeah.
those techniques.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones is the puppy dog close, where you literally let them have the product or service overnight, and then see if they want to give it back or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a cool one. And that's fair. That's reasonable, because it's not like high pressure. At any rate, okay, guys, look, just remember, if you don't give up, eventually, those stars are going to line up. When that happens, you're going to be better off for it. So until that time comes, and even after that time comes, just remember, keep your head up, keep your chin up, and the most important thing every single day, all day long, is to stay positive.